Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Maybe we start at the weekly chart just to remind ourselves where we stand. These weekly charts or long-term charts are accessible for all channel members. You can get access if you join as silver or gold member, and then you can get all-time access basically to these charts on TradingView. But this is overall, the situation on this chart. So bigger picture, nothing has changed. You always need to keep in mind that while we take we pay a lot of attention to the microstructures, okay, at the moment, because not much is going on in the crypto world. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, overall, it's been moving sideways since January. Yeah, looking at the bigger picture. So there is just not much going on. So we focus a lot on the microstructures. These are more fragile than, basically the longer time frame wave counts. Generally, with crypto, you need to understand that the longer time frame counts, they are still very short. Yeah, there are not many coins that really have a multi-year history. Bitcoin has a decent chart history. Some coins have, most coins don't really, and even Solana really only started in 2020. But overall, based on what we can see, we can count this as an impulse to the upside into 2021. And then as a wave one, and a wave two to the downside might have bottomed in December last year, when we formed the low here around $7 to $8, around $8 it was. And if this really was the low, based on that, we can measure the projection. And it should take us in the next bull run, first of all, to round about $440 to $700. Sounds crazy. And yeah, maybe it is from where we are, but it's not an unrealistic price target for cryptos. If I was really going to give you all these projections here, it takes you to very, very crazy price levels. Now, you cannot treat these as predictive. They are just projections that I need to have on the chart. If the chart remains bullish, then these are the projections that should be reached. And we talk about 5 to 10K at some point. Completely unrealistic from a current point of view, but I can tell you one thing. I've been analyzing the crypto market for many, many years. And when ETH started, I remember that. And I can't remember the exact prices, but I was looking at like, I don't know, a few cents to $4. Yeah, when in the first wave one, ETH moved from a few cents it was to, I think it was like $4 or $16, something like that. So prices that are completely, don't think about them anymore anyway. So, and then we pulled back, okay? So we had that projection. About basically a 1-2 setup, and it pointed towards $2,000. I mean, had I shown that anybody back then, people would have said crazy, okay? So it's the same situation with many of these altcoins. The thing is, with crypto, you don't know which altcoin is going to make it. And that's the difficulty. But from a projection point of view, they are realistic targets. It will just take many, 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 many years to play out, okay? But only if this is going to follow through. There are always conditions that need to be met. And if they're not met anymore, then it will break down at some point and fail, like many, many altcoins have done before. But the next bull market targets, they are probably what we need to focus on. But maybe for that, it's even a little bit too early. I just put them on the chart because a lot of, let's say, longer term swing traders, hodlers, you could say, requested the weekly chart. So let's look at them as well. Yeah, $440 to $713 roughly for the next bull run is sort of the first milestone we should focus on. But there is a lot of work to do before we even get there. And disregard the timeline. I always have to say that if I could take the timeline out, I would do that completely. Because there is no technical analysis will tell you how long something is going to how long something is going to take out. And it could be that this wave 2 bottomed. It's not, we can't rule out that we will reset the wave 2 lower, but there is a certain condition at the moment on the smaller time frame that as long as we're holding $15, we could move up in a third wave. So we have a bullish projection for Solana, okay? That's key, because if we go to the Solana chart, we're basically waiting for a turnaround. So this is the 4-hour chart. And basically, this is the December low that we just discussed on the weekly chart, the wave 1 to the upside, potential wave 2 to the downside. And then the third wave would be unfolding as an ABC structure. If you have any questions about that, let me know in the comments. But the idea is basically that as long as we're holding that $15 level down there, we should see a rally in a C wave. And you can trade with that. You can trade with that information. You can build a trading plan around that. So these are the key levels to watch. As long as we hold $15, a third wave rally or a C wave in a third wave rally should start. That's the projection, okay? Now we are currently using the microstructures to get a first view of when this turnaround is happening. Last week, we saw already this trendline break. That was our first and very, very early signal. Some of you might trade trendline breakouts, then this would have been very successful for you. Trend lines, you know, I use trend lines for things like that to understand when actually a trend potentially breaks, but I always see Fibonacci levels as more important. We then saw the Fib level break on Saturday, Sunday. So it was an additional signal that things would potentially change. I gave you even a support area here against which we can focus on higher, and a breakout point, and that's now also taken out $20.20. So from an Elliott wave point of view, we had a first small 1-2 setup, an unreliable one though, and we talked about, okay, if we fill in these 5 waves, that's a decent time frame, and fill in the ABC structure that follows afterwards, basically a larger degree 1-2 setup in white, then we can say with confidence that a low is in. It's always a matter of, you know, how much confidence do you put into a projection or into a scenario. And this was a first 1-2 setup, again unreliable, okay, because still very small. We haven't even taken out any previous swing highs, so always have to be warning then, right? It's not reliable. However, still potential to move up from there, still decent reward to risk against the $17.80 level. And if we can now fill in these 5 waves, and it should be above $22 because the third wave should ideally reach $22, as already explained in yesterday's videos, then we should get a 4th wave and a 5th wave. And if we get 5 waves above that $22 level, then we have to say that probably the low was in. It still then needs to fill in the ABC pullback, and then we have the next decent setup like this one for higher, yeah, or like the big one here actually on the larger scale, yeah. But this obviously will take longer to materialize and to play out. But this is for anybody who's like maybe likes to trade the daily chart or the 4-hour chart, whereas we're tracking in this video the short-term signals to get an understanding when we can say with confidence that a low has been made, yeah. So yeah, and next resistance here is $20.60. This wave too high. And then the third wave, again, should take us to around about $22. That's the 1.618 extension level. Once we have that in place, we can look at the wave 4 and the wave 5. The yellow wave count is getting less and less likely. It suggests still another low, but we don't need it, as explained before. Now that we are breaking here, this yellow wave count is getting less likely. Above $20.60, it will be invalidated. But it would still put us, first of all, in no man's land. We need to see, first of all, these 5 waves play out to really clearly say that we have already started basically the C wave to the upside, right? Because that's what most people are waiting for, this C wave. And if we get these 5 waves up, 3 waves down, then we have the first 1-2 setup in the C wave, and then we can provide a support area for a third wave rally in the C wave. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's my update about, I wanted to say September. No, September is nearly over, yes, but it's not September, it's Solana. So yeah, that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And if you're interested in the channel membership, you can check out the links in the description. As channel members, you get access to the weekly live streams. Every Sunday we do them. We do cover some requests, and they are always educational as well. Then you get access to Discord and Telegram, to our chat rooms, and a lot of educational content on Discord and Telegram. Lots of stuff about trading mindset, and a lot of stuff. And as a gold member, you get access to additional short-term market updates, which can be very useful in volatile times like these. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.